the Army chief during the Kargil War. Commencing his journey from a second lieutenant all the way to the general, his life has been full of adventures, but one thing is for sure, that they have all been done in order to serve our country. Padma Vishlish and Ati Vishlish Seva Medal awardee, despite everything that he has already done for this country, he hasn't put a halt on his journey and is now the member of the Board of Advisors of India's international movement to United Nations. We are forever indebted to those who have given their life that we might have been free. On the similar note, I would like to welcome Sir on the stage to impart us with his wise words. Student Council will start.
Principal of the school, Dr. Seema Bindi, Administrator, respected teachers, parents, and dear students from all schools. Firstly, I must say that I'm absolutely delighted to be here today. I was wondering whether I'll be able to make it or not, but then the principal's persuasion and of course my colleague Vivek Atre's persuasion, and I'm glad that I've been able to come and be able to interact and speak to you all. I must also congratulate and compliment the performers who were here before me, the music choir, the dancers, everyone. And of course, Bharat Gupta, who's an excellent and absolutely talented Bharatanatyam dancer. You have delighted us and you have impressed us with your performance, every one of you. Bharat, of course, is an exceptional dancer, and I hope you will keep up your talent as you grow up. And I was also wondering, when I was a child of your age, we did not have these opportunities at that time in the schools. And we did not really have much of activity except to study in the school, go in the morning, do our prayers, study in the school and come back. And then on our own, we could play some games, whether it was hockey, football or whatever. But there were no other opportunities given to us in the schools. I'm talking of general school, I'm not talking of exceptional schools. And I came from a government school. So I'm extremely happy when I look at these opportunities that the schools are offering you and guiding you, encouraging you. I think when I look at these things, and I feel so confident about our India's, our country's future, because that is what we want. As Vivek was saying before me, that kind of creativity that is needed today, not only in academics, but in all fields. And with this kind of talent which is inculcated amongst our children, I have no doubt that India has a very, very bright future. And thanks to the schools, thanks to the teachers who are doing great work, we have a very bright future amongst our youngsters. Now, India, over the years that I have seen, incidentally I was born before partition, so much earlier, and over the years I've seen in the army, had the opportunity to travel all over our country, every bit of our country, and also many countries abroad. And I have seen for myself how much improved India is today in every field, whether it is the field of art, sciences, skills. You take anything, we have come a very, very long way from those colonial days where for every little thing we had to have permission, nothing was available. From then we have made a very progressive journey, I would say. And the best thing is today we are at a stage where now this progress is going to unfold so much more than we have seen in the past. You know, as they say, that technology is moving very, very fast. And nothing is static today, everything is dynamic. And with the kind of social movement, political movement, geostrategic movement, all these things, when you look at it, you realize that we have a great future if we are able to muster our art, leadership, things of this nature. So what I'm going to speak to you, I think a few words about the leadership that is required for our future. You know, this is how I have learned. As somebody said, I joined as a second lieutenant. Then after so many years, I became a chief. And you have only one chief in an army, which is today 1.3 million strong army. In my time, it was 1.1 million. So you have so many people working under you, and so many people saluting you and looking up to you. So I'm just going to share a few thoughts from my own experience as far as leadership is concerned. And let me also mention to you that a few of those things that I learned when I was a youngster, when I had only a section or a platoon under me, those things have been with me all along till I became a chief also. So some of the basics of our leadership, they do not change. Whether you have 5 people working with you or you have 1 million people working with you. And each one of you, please remember, each one of you is going to be a leader. With your education, when you go out, you will find somebody is working with you. You will be working as a team member, and then from team member you become a team leader. And please remember that if you are not a good team member, you will not be able to make a team leader. So first thing, when you join a team, and you saw the teamwork in all those dances, the singing that we saw, everyone, it was so well synchronized. Everyone, the boy and the girl, they were all playing their set role to be able to give you that very delightful music at the dance performance. So teamwork is extremely important. And remember that when you are a leader, you have a team with you. First you are a member and then you become the team leader. Second thing that I have seen in my life is that with the kind of transparency that we have today, you have to be a very transparent leader whose character shows up in no time. And when I'm talking of character, I'm talking of being able to speak the truth, being an honest person, being a sincere person. Whatever work is given to you, you do it to the full of your energy, fullest of your energy, and to the most dedicated manner that you can think of. And character is all that put together. Everybody can see you. You know, when I was a student I was a cadet in Indian military academy, people used to say that, look, you are being watched all the time. And because you are being watched, you have to have the right character. You cannot be indulging in double speak. You cannot be indulging in lies. You know, all those things, you cannot do that. And you have to be honest. You have to have that integrity that is thought of. The third thing that I want to share with you is that we all have to have knowledge of whatever subject, whether it is chemistry or it is science, arts, whatever you subject. Each one of us will take one primary subject as our knowledge for our knowledge, and maybe sometime more. But more important than knowledge is how you deal with people, how you talk to people, how you stand up, how you come across to them. I learned a lot from some of our own leaders that you have different levels of people working with you. Some people are junior, some people are your peers, some people are senior. But you have to learn to be able to talk to them at their status without insulting them, giving them full respect. So whether it's a junior person speaking to you, you speak at that level, but you give him full respect or her full respect. Same thing at the level of this thing. So how you talk to people, what kind of language you speak to them, the manner in which you come across, that I think is much more important today than just the knowledge of the subject that you have. So that is something that you need to learn not only in school, because I know in school you have a discipline, you have to follow the right thing, otherwise you might get punished. But that is something that you must learn both at home and amongst yourself when you are friends. Another aspect that I want to share with you is never ever refuse a challenge. You must always accept a challenge, because challenges are what you see in life. I have seen challenges in the battlefield, I have seen challenges in my own work, handling people from outside, everyone. Challenges is something which will come your way, and you must accept that. No leader should ever refuse that challenge. And when you go through a challenge, you become a more experienced person. And that is something, so I say that the challenges produce leaders, and leaders never refuse challenges. One more aspect that I want to. I do not believe that leaders are born. I was not born a leader. Came from a middle class family, and then because we went through partition, so we had hardly anything when we migrated from Pakistan to India. But it's the hard work. I have never come across a good leader, who has not worked hard, he or she. They have to work hard. Second thing, they have to believe in themselves. I believed myself that yes, I can do it. I can go to the next rank, and the next rank, and the next rank. So you have to have that belief in yourself that I can do that. The next thing is that you must not only believe in yourself, you should try and gain experience as much as possible. And that experience then makes you a better leader. And the last thing I want to tell you, again, I come back. Knowledge is important, but our own scriptures, our Bhagavad Gita says that more important than knowledge is action. How you implement that. No knowledge is useful unless you are able to act upon it, you are making use of it. And that is why, that Nike slogan which is there, action, I have always liked that. And over the years, what I have seen is that while we do our planning well in our country, everywhere we do our planning quite well, but we falter in our implementation, in execution. So learn that whatever you plan, you see it through, you execute it to the best of possibility. No war can be won unless they are executed well. I can do any planning sitting in Delhi, but people who have to fight on the front, they have to execute whatever I have planned. So always remember, it's not how a plan begins, it is how a plan is executed that becomes important. As far as other aspects of communication, how you deal with people of creativity, my colleague Vivek Atre has already told you so much, and communication is important. Stage fright you overcome by practice. I don't know how many of you would know that Winston Churchill, who was Prime Minister of UK, he used to practice things in front of the mirror before he came to give a speech. So practice is what is required. You have to get over your stage fright, and it is not so difficult. It may be the second biggest worry, as Vivek was saying, but it is not so difficult. Once you learn how to come on the stage, and gradually you will get over your fright. And that fright, as far as my own experience is concerned, it's only for a few seconds, maybe a minute or two. After that, you don't have that. But you have to learn how to communicate with people. It doesn't matter in our country. People are from South India, North India, speaking hundreds of languages that we have in our country. But what is important is how you are able to communicate within our diversity that we have in our country, which is a great asset for us. In the army, we have people from every corner of our country, and we are proud to have each one of us. And nowadays, it's not only men, there are good women also with us. And we are proud of them. And when you communicate, it is not the kind of Hindi or English or Tamil or Sanskrit or whatever. It is not that so much. It is also how you talk to each other, as I said earlier, that eye contact, your body language, all that becomes important to become a good leader. So I thought I will share with you some of my own experience in life, how they were useful to me when, I rose in my own career. And at the end of it, I must thank the principal and all the teachers and every one of you for giving us a very delightful opportunity to be here with you. And as I said right in the beginning, I see a very bright future in you, and when I see a bright future in you, I also see a very bright future in our own country. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best. Again.
Thank you so much, sir, for the words of wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for former Army Chief, General B.P. Malik. In the audience, we have